Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Facebook Live about Facebook Live. All right. This is the time of quarantine and everybody is at home and everybody wants to be online. The online activities have increased by at least 5 times from what they used to be before. There are so many number of webinars going around. So many people are working from home. Kids are being schooled online. So why not go live on Facebook and just, share your knowledge with everybody? I was conducting a lot of live sessions in my own group, Puneri Thaska, and I came across a lot of questions from people. And there were a lot of similar questions that people had, and a lot of same mental blocks that people had before they actually went live on Facebook. So, what I did was I compiled all those questions and I thought I'll just make a video so that I can just answer everybody and share this video with everybody whenever they have any queries about going live on Facebook. Okay. Just to tell you something about myself. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shweta Poddar. I am primarily a dentist by profession. I am also the founder of Puneri Thaska Network for Women, which is primarily a Facebook group and which is also spread across WhatsApp, Instagram, and Telegram networks. We currently have 28,500 members inside our group and community. We also have our website, which is called punerithaska.com, and which hosts our directory and the magazine for the group members, specifically for the group members. I'm also the founder of the Lady Bosses Network. The ladybosses.com is primarily my website. And I also teach entrepreneurs and businesses how to have a solid presence on social media through the ladybosses.com. Okay. Apart from that, I have participated in victorious political campaigns. So that is one experience that I have. And I've also spearheaded a lot of events digitally and online. So I say all of these things so you know that everything that I say today is going to come from a place of experience and actual application in real life. Okay. So having said that, let's just dive into our session for today right away. So as you can see, that is mentioned above, and the reason why all of you have joined in, the name of today's session is Tips and Tricks for Your Facebook Live, or Nail Your Facebook Live. Everybody wants to go live, but many people have a lot of problems as to how they should actually go about going live on Facebook. They have a lot of mental blocks. So let's start talking about it and let's dive right into the meat of the matter today. How should you be going about your live videos on Facebook? The first thing that comes in everybody's mind is I'm a little hesitant to go live on Facebook. I don't want to show everybody my vulnerable side, or I'm not prepared enough to go live on Facebook right now. So what is the difference? But why not just go make a video, pre-recorded a video and then post it to Facebook? So there are certain pros and cons of both. Live videos have certain pros and cons, pre-recorded videos have certain pros and cons. But the major pros and cons is the production cost. When you're going live, the only thing that you need is your phone and a little bit of light around you and some content inside your mind that you want to talk about. That's all. Okay, you need a good internet connection also. So these are the prerequisites for a live video. There is no editing required in that at all. There is no post-production cost involved in the live video. Whereas in a pre-recorded video, you're going to need the entire setup. You're going to need the camera that is involved for a pre-recorded video. Okay, then you're going to need a proper editor so that you stitch up all the tiny video clips that you've recorded. You edit your video, then you have to share it to some place. All these things and all this time investment that goes into a pre-recorded video is not there inside a live video. So if you want to be very authentic, if you want to have one-to-one interaction with your audiences, if you want to have a very authentic feel to your video, then you should consider going live. Also make sure you have a good enough internet connection, because that is a prerequisite for a good live video. Okay. So these are the things that are going to decide whether you want to go with a live video or whether you want to go with a pre-recorded video. The production cost and the basic requirement of how you want to interact with your audience in that given point of time. Okay. You should think of the date and time. Okay. So at this point of time, I would like to ask all of you, everybody who is watching this video right now, do you want to go live on Facebook and give a lecture live on Facebook? Not just a lecture, but just go live and talk to your audiences in Facebook groups, in your profile, on your page, anywhere. If you want to do that, then just drop a yes in the comments. Also tell me if you've already gone live somewhere and have faced certain problems. Okay, what I'm going to do is after a few slides, I'm going to go back to my phone, check all the questions that you people are asking me, and then answer those questions, and then proceed with this live afterwards again. Okay, now when you've decided that you want to go live on Facebook, then there are certain things that you have to follow so that your live session becomes really smooth. So think of a date and time. Consider your target audiences. Okay, everybody's audience is going to be different based on the kind of business that they have. Okay, so consider the target audience that you have. Consider the timings that they are going to be free at to watch your video. You might have already thought in your mind what kind of a video you want, how long you want your video to be. Okay, so consider the uh, schedule of your target audience, whether they can give that much of time commitment to your video at that time, and then zero down on a date and time for your live video. Okay, this will ensure that you have maximum viewership while you're going live. If you go live when everybody is at work or everybody is commuting to and fro from work, then there's going to be very little viewership for you while you're actually live. Okay, think of the topic for your live session. Now this is a very important part of your entire live session. Okay, you might have a basic idea in your mind of what you want to go live about, but when people are scrolling through their Facebook timelines, they don't see your video playing automatically. Most people have the autoplay feature switched off to save data. So what they're going to come across is your live video as a single post and the title on top of your video. So whether they want to click on not on that video, they will decide after reading the description that you have put inside your above your live video. So make sure the title is very catchy, it is self-explanatory, and it's not very long. Don't make people click on the see more button. 2 or 3 lines and enough. Okay, so that is how you ensure that people click on your video. These are the people who are discovering you organically. Okay, you might have advertised about your live session previously, so most of the people who are coming to your live video from your advertisements, they need to understand that this is the live that we have come here for. Okay, so to clarify it to people what they're going to watch in the video, you need to have a proper topic for your live session in place. That has to go in the description box where you actually uh, paste all of that. That has to be ready before you go live. Okay, jot down all the points that you want to talk about. Now what happens is many times everything is consolidated in your mind, but when you're sitting in front of the camera and when you're actually interacting live with an audience, you might be distracted by the questions that people are asking, the number of people who are viewing, okay, the number of people who are dropping out. You tend to get distracted, you tend to look at all the settings on the Facebook screen, and then you are kind of lost for a minute or two, and you might tend to black out in certain situations. You don't want to have a very uncomfortable long pause where you're not remembering anything on the live session. Okay, so what you do is you have a paper or another device where you write down all the points that you want to talk about one after the other. If you notice that you're in a situation where you don't know what the next point is going to be, quickly refer to that piece of paper or the device where you've written down all the points that you'll be brushing up upon. Okay, this will avoid all those awkward silences, all those breaks that you will take just to refer. When you're on the previous point, just think of what the next point is going to be. Quickly refer to the piece of paper that you have if you're forgetting something, and then carry on. Okay, if you have long pauses, if you are wasting a lot of time without actually communicating with the people, then people tend to drop out of the live videos. You want to keep all the audiences inside your live video while you are live. Okay, do a trial run. This is very important because there are so many things that can go wrong while you're actually doing a live session. You might have done many live sessions previously, but what if things decide to go wrong in this particular session itself? So what are you going to do in that case? Do a trial run. What are the things a trial run is going to teach you. Okay, so I can see there are a lot of questions here, but what I'll do is first I'll finish a few slides here, brush up on a few points, and then I'll go back and answer all your queries and questions. Okay, so in a trial run, you will understand whether you are comfortable in the camera or not, whether your frame is done up well or not. Are you speaking correctly? Okay, are you fumbling or not? Are you remembering everything in a sequence, how you have it in your mind? Are you sounding correct on the live session? So this is a trial run. Also, you should always do a trial run just a few minutes before you're actually going to go live. For example, when I'm going live right now, I did a trial run on my own just 15 minutes ago. Okay, I checked the speed of my internet, very important. If the speed of your internet is not right, then you should just skip the live session for that moment, because it's going to be a very staggering live session. It's going to have a lot of pauses, a lot of breaks in it, a lot of frozen screens in it, and people are going to log out of the session when they see a frozen screen. So a bad network is going to spoil the experience, not just for the live viewers but also for the replay viewers. Okay, so that's your entire audience experience that has been spoiled now. So make sure the internet connection is right. Do the trial work, then again you end that video and listen to yourself. Okay, if you need to improvise on something in your final session, then you have all those points jotted down and improvise in your final live session. Okay, how would you do a trial run? Okay, there is no way on Facebook that you can just do a trial run without everybody else seeing what you're doing, right? So I have two options in which you can actually do a trial run on Facebook itself. First is you create a secret group with you and a friend, or with you and your spouse. So that secret group, nobody else has access to that group. So whatever you want to try out, you go inside that group where the members are just the two of you, and try out everything that you want. Okay, you listen to yourself, you go live in that group, you post the video, you watch yourself, and you understand everything that's going on in there. The second option that you have for a trial run is go live on your profile itself, but change the privacy setting to only me. There are a few privacy settings, right? Friends, public, only me. So you click on only me. That way is what happens is nobody else but you are going to see that post of yours. So the live post of yours will be seen only by yourself, not by your friends, not by anybody else as well. Okay. That ways you have complete privacy for your trial run. Nobody gets to see what you're working on, what you're improvising on. Only you are able to see that. Okay, you also get to do that entire thing within the environment of Facebook. So that's the best part about it. It's not like you're doing a trial run somewhere else and then you have to come and present it on Facebook again, which is again a slightly alienish interface for you, right? So you get acclimatized with the interface, and you also understand which buttons you're supposed to press at what point of time. Okay, so you do a trial run, you're comfortable with everything, you decide to go ahead with the live session. One more thing that you're supposed to check before you actually go live is that check the light and sound situation. So make sure that you're sitting in front of the camera very comfortably. You're not slouching, or you're not keeping the phone down and having a profile from your chin upwards, because that's not a very flattering angle for most people. For some it might be, but for most people it isn't the most flattering angle. If you're doing it on your business page, then you need to appear a little professional as well. Okay, so make sure the camera is placed in a very good position. Make sure your camera is mounted in the right position, just slightly above your eye level, or maybe at your eye level, not below that. Okay, check the light. Make sure your face is illuminated very well from all sides. You're not dark in any, there is no shadow falling on your face in any which ways. What happens if the lighting is not sufficient? Your live video is going to be very grainy and very pixelated, kind of. It looks grainy basically, and that's not a very nice video to look at, because if it's a video, people have so many other options to look at, right? It takes them a few seconds to log out of your video and watch something else. The entire effort of going live and preparing for the live session has to be worthwhile. So make sure the light falling on your face and illuminating your face is making you look bright and completely visible on the video. Secondly, during the trial run, also check out the sound. Many a times you have your fans running, your neighbors might be loud enough, your neighbor's dog decides to start barking at that particular time. So make sure you are inside a closed room where nobody is going to disturb you. Tell everybody that you are going live, so nobody wants to disturb you for that particular amount of time. If your internet connection is a little dicey, make sure all the other users are not inside your house are not using that internet for the time being, so that you get all that bandwidth for your own live session, which can then run smoothly. In the trial run, check if your sound is being recorded correctly. There shouldn't be any sound of ambient noise that is being recorded. So the noise of the fan, the coolers, if your AC is noisy, then that could get recorded. So the ambient noise might make your sound get muffled in that. Okay. So make sure your sound is getting recorded properly. And being in closed rooms helps you cut out the noise from outside. Okay. Oh, your phone orientation. How many sessions, live sessions? Okay, tell me if this is something that you've experienced ever. Tell me in the comments that the person has started this live session with a horizontal orientation of the phone, and in the middle of it, they decide to turn it vertical. And then again, after a while, they have a change of heart and then they again put it on the horizontal mode. If you have attended a live session like that, please tell me in the comments how you felt about it. It's a very disturbing thing for the viewer because they have to either turn their necks or change the orientation of their device and everything. Okay, nobody is going to take that kind of an effort unless they are your relatives or immediate family. So your phone orientation, how should it be? In the first place, your orientation of the phone needs to be decided beforehand. If you decide that your phone is going to be on a horizontal orientation, keep it in horizontal orientation from beginning to end, the landscape mode from beginning to end of your entire live session. Okay. If you decide that your video needs to be in a vertical format, then keep your phone in the vertical format from beginning to end of your entire live session. Don't change the orientation of your phone in the middle of a live session because Facebook will not record that. Your orientation will continue to be the previous one from where you started off. It will tell you that turn the phone, you can't turn your phone during the live session and all those things. But if you decide to ignore it, your video is going to be recorded in a very haphazard manner. And the viewer is not going to have a very nice experience looking at those change in camera angles and the sudden motions in your video. Okay. So decide the orientation of your phone and make sure you stick to it from beginning to end of your live session. Also, I suggest my opinion would be that you should always stick to the horizontal mode, the landscape mode while you are recording a live video. That way, you're utilizing maximum space of the screen. Everybody can enlarge your video and watch it in the right orientation. And also you can repurpose that video afterwards for whatever reasons you want to. If you have something in the vertical format, if you shoot something in the vertical format, it will be difficult for you to repurpose it on many number of platforms because there are very few platforms which uh, basically entertain the vertical format popularly. So apart from IGTV and stories, there are very few opportunities you will have to post that video in a vertical format. On YouTube, you can post it, but that is not how YouTube is basically built, right? So I would suggest always use the horizontal format, and that format can be edited and used in all formats. It can be changed to a vertical if you want, it can be kept into a horizontal if you want. So that becomes easier to repurpose. Keep your phone on silent. How many times has it happened that you're watching a live video, you want to know what that person has to say, but every second sentence you're listening to a buzz of the phone vibrating, you're listening to a ting 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 ting, all those notification sounds that are coming through their phone. God forbid somebody decides to call them at that particular time, you're going to hear the entire ringtone of that person, and that person is going to keep on declining that phone call every single time because they are in the live video. That distracts you as a speaker of the live session, that distracts your audiences because they are listening all these unwanted notification sounds from your phone, and it gives you a very unprofessional look for the entire video. If somebody decides to rewatch that video as a replay, then that's going to give that video very little viewers, because most people are going to log out as soon as they listen to the notification sounds. Okay, so to make sure these things don't happen, you keep that phone on silent. Once you keep it on silent, the major notification sounds are going to be shut down. But if you are on your phone, then it is a phone, right? Its primary priority is phone calls, receiving and giving out phone calls. So if somebody decides to call you when your phone is on silent, there is a good chance that your network is going to be cut off. If you're on your phone data, then there is a good chance your phone might, your network is going to get cut off. Your live session might be halted or end on its own, and your phone decides that the priority of this device is to show you the phone call at that very moment. Okay, if you want to avoid these things, there is a setting called do not disturb inside your phone. You go to that setting and you make sure you tell your phone that I don't want to be disturbed by phone calls, I don't want to be disturbed by messages or any of the notifications or the alarms also. So make sure your alarm and all the notifications and your phone call notifications are all shut down in your do not disturb area. Okay, now one more thing I was going to tell you. Okay, don't put your phones on airplane modes. Been there, done that. Okay, one fine day I was just absent-mindedly thinking that, oh, I want to shut down everything, let's just put my phone on airplane mode. And guess what, it cuts out every single form of internet data and connectivity. Okay, so that's really not going to help you for your live session, which definitely needs internet. So don't put it on airplane mode. Turn off notifications and switch on your DND and all the settings within your DND. Okay, are you all with me so far? If there is any point now, I'll just check out the few questions that might be there here right now. Oh, there are quite a few people watching. Yes, Nihal. Okay, how was Instagram Live different from Facebook Live? Um, I have read a post somewhere which says that Facebook is going to start this feature where you can just go live from one place and share it at both places, Instagram and Facebook. But I don't see that feature appearing anywhere as of now. That's the first point. Second, Instagram Live is in a vertical format. So when somebody, okay, I'll come to this point in the next few slides. I'll be talking about it. But the basic difference is Instagram Live happens inside the stories. It's not there on the main timeline, and it's in the vertical format. So since it's in the stories, Instagram Live is going to be there only for 24 hours. If you are on your Facebook timeline, then that live happens inside your main timeline. It's there for life. It stays for life. It's not going to disappear after a few hours. Okay, so that's the main difference. The audiences you have on both these platforms might be different because the age groups of the people on Facebook and on Instagram are drastically different right now. Okay, so that would be the differences between Instagram Live and Facebook Lives. Facebook actually doesn't allow me to go live horizontally at all. Not sure why. Okay, so Saili, what I would suggest is try switching on your auto rotate feature inside your phone. If your Facebook is not allowing you to go live horizontally, then switch on your phone rotating mode and then try going live. Okay, I think that should help you a lot. Yeah, can we share a screen like if we want to share a presentation? What you can do is there are a few softwares that will help you share your screen. Like for example, I am doing this session right now where I am sharing my screen with you, and this is Zoom. This is the paid version of Zoom that I am using for sharing my screen on my Facebook Live right now. Facebook itself does have a provision where you can share your screen with the people. That will be a completely new video because that will take me around 20-25 minutes to show you how it is done. But do check it out. You can share your screen on Facebook Lives directly, but you can't appear yourself. Like if you can see me in the right corner right now, right? If you are sharing your screen on Facebook Live directly, then you can't see yourself on the video. Also, you can't switch between yourself and the screen while you are live. So if you decide to share your screen, you can only share your screen and not your face on that video. So that's a little glitchy feature on Facebook itself. You can make use of other softwares like Zoom and share your screen and go live on Facebook at the same time. It's a paid feature though. Okay, where is the description you mentioned before starting the FB live? Okay, when you actually, what was the question? Where's the description? So when you click on the go live, before you click on the go live button, you click on that space where you create a new post. On below that, you will see the go live button. You click on the go live, and then it will ask you to write a description and a title. If you're on a computer, it will ask you to write a description and title on two different tabs. If you're on the phone, it will ask you to write an entire description there. So that is where your description part appears. After that, you click on the red go live button. Okay, that is where the description box is. If you skip out on the description box, once you end your session, you can always edit your post and add the description part. So if you forget it, if it skips your mind while you are live, you can always come back, edit your post and add the description. It's not like a do or die situation there. Okay. What is the optimal time of the session? So Dipti, the optimal time of the session, I would say the minimum time you should be live is 30 minutes, because it takes time for people to get notifications, check their notifications and actually join in. And the maximum time I would say should be 1 hour, because people don't have patience to sit for more than that. Okay. So minimum 30 minutes if you're in a group, and if the capacity of a group is really large, say for example it's more than 5,000, if a group has more than 5,000 members, minimum 30 minutes, maximum 1 hour would be the optimum time for you to go live. So people start getting their notifications and join your live in the first 15 minutes, all those who are going to join by the notifications. And then you should just start talking as soon as you come live. I will be covering those points in the later slides. Okay. All right. So I think I'll continue with the slides now. So we completed these points. Okay. I would like to take a small break here and tell you a little bit more that I'm planning, all the new exciting things that are coming up with the ladybosses.com. As I said previously, the ladybosses.com is my website. And through this website, I teach people how to do social media and how to strengthen their digital and social media presence and build their brands on social media. So under that website, I'm conducting a few Zoom webinars right now. One of them is YouTube for beginners. So if you are somebody who wants to start off your YouTube channel, if you're somebody who thinks that YouTube would be the right platform for you to get on right now, but you don't know where to begin from, then this webinar will be a great thing for you. If you're somebody who's already started off your YouTube game, but you are kind of stuck and you don't know what are the reasons why you're not growing right now, then this YouTube for beginners webinar will be for you. If you're somebody who's already doing YouTube for a long time, but you want to just brush up your basics, because this is a YouTube for beginners, I'll be teaching you a lot of beginners tips and tricks, as well as a few advanced tips and tricks. Okay, so this is going to be very helpful for you if you want to start your YouTube on a very strong foothold. What happens is you end up becoming the underdog and you just look up to other people and are lost and you don't know what to do many times, and you're quite disappointed sometimes because your YouTube videos are not picking up and you're putting so much time and effort into it. Okay, so I'll teach you all the beginning steps and how you should strengthen your YouTube channel from the get-go in this beginners webinar. It's a Zoom webinar, so if you want to register for it, there is a link in the description box above this live session. So click on that registration link and get yourself registered. You will get the webinar details after registration in your email inbox. Make sure your email address is right. Oh, the YouTube webinar is scheduled on 10th of May at 2 p.m. The second webinar that I'm conducting is, you'll see the date above. This is the Instagram for beginners webinar. So if you are somebody who wants to start Instagram for your already existing business, or if you're somebody who wants to start Instagram as a business, you're a beginner and you don't know where to start from, you don't know how to convert your Instagram followers right now, then this webinar is going to be for you. Okay. This will help you a lot if you are a little lost or you are getting stagnated with your Instagram right now. So again, if you're interested in this Instagram for beginners webinar, there is a link above in the description box. Click on it, get registered, and you will get all the details for these two webinars in your email inbox. Okay. There are no replays for these webinars, so make sure you join me live during the webinar timings. Okay. So let's move on with our Facebook Live about Facebook Live. I love saying that, it's very catchy. Facebook Live about Facebook Live. So start on time. Okay. You have decided what you want to do with your live session. You make a creative, you promote it everywhere, and now people are joining in. Say, for example, you say, I'm going live at 2 p.m. Everybody has decided that they want to join you at 2 p.m. You've marketed it everywhere that they want to join you at 2 p.m. So you yourself have to start the going live session, say at least 5 to 7 minutes earlier. Okay, because you don't know what glitches are going to be there. You don't know how long it's going to take you to type in all the description and actually start off with your live session right away, isn't it? So keep some buffer timing before you go live. Don't be in a rush, but keep some buffer time before you actually hit on the go live button. Okay, you want to be calm and composed before you go live. If there are so many glitches that you end up getting 5 minutes late, then you are really all flustered when people are actually watching you, and you have to start talking about your content, but you are still a little frustrated because of the previous glitches that you had to go through, right? So start on time, plan everything beforehand, have all the description and everything copied somewhere so you can just paste it into the description box when you're going live. Okay. Write a description on top. So I think I just answered this question in the question answers round right now. So the description is going to be probably 4 to 5 lines, because try and avoid having the see more button, but it's very difficult to avoid that because you want to say so many things about your live session. So if you can just do away with one single line, great, good for you. But if you want, write a very self-explanatory description so that people know exactly what your live session is going to be about. Okay. Ooh, replay considerations. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is that your live inside the live video is relevant only for those 30, 45, or 60 minutes that you're actually live. Okay. Agreed that many people are watching you at that particular time, but that's not 100% of your audience who's watching you at that time, right? So please consider the replay audiences also. So everything that you are doing right now, everything that you say within your live session is going to be watched by a replay audience also as a replay video. They are going to have in their mind that this is a pre-recorded video before they click on it and understand that it's a live video. Okay. So don't waste too much time in greeting people. What many people do is they have a decided time, they've marketed it everywhere that I'm going live at 2 p.m. Everybody joins them at 2 p.m. Now they'll waste time from 2 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. and just greeting people. Hi, hello, hello, you've joined, welcome, welcome. Now what's happening is that if there are 50 people who've joined and you're greeting these people, at least 25 of them are going to say, oh, chuck it, I'll just watch the replay. I don't want to listen to this person greet others. Because nobody has that kind of time commitment nowadays, you know. They have so many other videos that they could be watching. And while you're live, your criteria is that people should stay inside your live session and not just push them to be a replay audience afterwards. Correct. So don't waste time in greeting people. You can say a few hellos and highs for a few seconds, but then dive into the topic as soon as possible. That is very important. Okay. Another thing is, when you are going live, we see many people are a little confused. If you do your trial run very well, you will see that when you hit on the go live button, there is a red dot or live button that appears on your left top corner, which says that you are live already. So when you see that live button on the top left corner of your phone or inside your laptop computer, consider yourself live. Don't ask people, am I live, am I audible, am I not? If you have checked all these things in your trial run, maybe sound people will tell you in the comments that we can't hear you, and then you can figure out what it is. But if you yourself are being a little unsure, then the replay audiences are going to find it a little wasty in nature. Okay. So keep in mind that the live nature of your video is relevant only for those 30 to 40 minutes while you are live. But the rest of that video, when everybody is watching as a replay, it's a pre-recorded video for them. So make sure it's worthwhile for them to watch as well, because 80 to 90% of your views are going to come from the replay viewers. Okay. How to add another person inside your live session. Okay. Any more questions or not? Audiences on FB, YouTube for beginners is extremely valuable. Thank you, Saili, for your nice testimonial for my YouTube for beginners webinar. She finds it very nice, valuable. Okay. Add another person to your live session. So when you're live on your phone, you're going to see this small icon, which you can see here right now. I've circled it and made it prominent. Okay, this is the icon where you can add more people to your live session on Facebook. On Facebook, you can only have two people in one live session. So as a host, you will be the one person, and the second person is the one who you get in. If you want one more person to join, you'll have to remove that previous person and add one more person in that person's place. But you can't have more than two people in a Facebook live session. Also, this feature comes and goes as per Facebook's whims and wishes, because it used to be there till last year. Then for the past 6 months, it wasn't there. And recently, recently it has been added all over again on Facebook. So if you see this button, it means you can add people in your live session. If you don't see this button, it means you can't add people in your live session. Also, if you are in the landscape mode or the horizontal mode, then your screen is going to be divided like this. So one person here and one person here. If you are in the vertical mode, then your screen is divided like this. So one person on top and one person over here. Okay, so that is how your live session screen will be divided if you have two different audiences. Okay. How to share your live video. Again, if you can see this icon, which will be on the bottom of your live screen, this will help you to share your video with more people. But this button isn't the share button that we usually think of. This is an invite button. So when you click on this specific symbol, it will show you the list of all the people in your friends list, and you can invite them to this very live session. Okay. If you want to share this video, say I'm going live on my page right now, and at the same time I want to share this to all my groups and to my personal profile as well, then there are two options. First is you can have somebody else access your profile and share it to all the relevant groups that you tell them to. Or second, have your own device in hand. Okay, so I am live on my laptop right now. What I did was I opened my own page through my phone, and I found it like a post. My live session was like a post. So I just shared it to all the places I wanted to share it to. That's a little easier if you're sharing it through a different device altogether. If you want to share it from the same device that you're going live from, then it becomes difficult because you might have to go back and your live screen might get interrupted. Your live session might even end at that particular time. And you have all these audiences who have joined into this live session, and all of them might not translate if you start a new live video all over again. Okay, so avoid running into that risk and have a different device to share your live video everywhere. What do you do with your video after you hit on the end live button? Okay, so you've finished your live session, you've delivered all your content, you've talked to all the people, everything is done and dusted. Now you've ended your live session. Now what do you do? Okay, so you see this as your end screen when your live ends, and these are the few options that you have. Now this is something where I went live inside a group. Okay, so it will ask me whether I want to post this video to the group or not, or whether I want to upload this video in HD or not. Click or unclick these buttons as per your preferences. HD, why not? Better the quality, more number of people who are going to watch, the better for you. Okay, post your video to group, of course. I mean, if you've taken so many efforts to actually go live and deliver a lot of content to these people, make sure more people are watching it, get maximum benefits out of that video. Why not? Okay, now when you click on the save button, this is going to get the entire video will be saved inside your gallery or inside your own phone device. Okay, when you click on the delete button, this video is going to get deleted. It's not going to be posted to the page or profile or the group that you went live in. It's not going to be available for a replay. So you're deleting that post basically completely. So only the people who joined you in live session consumed your content, but nobody can watch it again as a replay. And when you click on this share button, it is going to be shared to wherever you were live at. If you're on your profile or a page or a group, this video will get shared that particular place. I will suggest always share the video first and then try to download it again to your own device. Because if something goes wrong while you're saving it and you have not yet shared it to your portal, then you might be in a soup. Okay. If your internet connection goes off, your electricity is gone, then there's nothing you can do about it. And that video probably might not be shared to that portal. So don't miss out on that big opportunity. So first share it to that place and then download it. Next big question. How do you download your live videos? Everybody who went live in my group had this one question in Puneri Thaska. They were like, yeah, I'm going live in Puneri Thaska, but I don't know, can I share my video outside? So if you're going live in a closed group, in a private group, as they call it now, you can't share it outside. Even if you copy paste the link of a closed group outside, the people who are the members of the group will see that post anywhere, shared anywhere. The people who are not the members of the group will see it like content not available post. Okay, you see so many people just sharing things and you look at it and you see this content has been taken down by the viewer or this content is not available. So don't copy paste your links from a private group because Facebook does not have that facility of sharing anything outside a private group. Okay, instead, download your own videos to your device and repurpose it however and wherever you want it. You are the owners of your own video. It's the content created by you, so you have full rights to use and publish it wherever you want, unless those are the terms decided previously. Okay, so what you do is you open your video through a laptop. You can't download a live video through your phone, not through the app, nor through your Chrome browser or any other browser inside your phone. You need to have a laptop or a computer to download your videos. Okay, uh, open your video, make it into full screen, and once you're watching your video on full screen, then you will see these three dots on the right side corner. You click on those dots, and here you have the option of download your video. Okay, this ways, whether this is in a closed group, whether this is in a public group, whether it's on your page or whether it's on your profile, you can download that video to your device or a laptop. Once it's downloaded, you can always repurpose it and share it wherever you want it to. Okay, all right. So once again, for all those people who've joined us late, I would like to brush up on a few details here. I am conducting a few webinars on my website called theladybosses.com. One of them is YouTube for beginners, which will help you understand if you're a YouTuber or who's just beginning and who's stuck. If you're somebody who wants to start a YouTube channel but is a little confused as to how you should begin with a strong foothold and not be the underdog on YouTube, then this webinar is for you. The registration link for this YouTube for beginners webinar is there in the description box above. The second webinar that I'll be hosting is Instagram for beginners. Again, if you're a beginner who wants to use Instagram for business, who wants to convert the Instagram following into customers, then this webinar is for you. So make sure you click on the registration link in the description box above and register yourself. These webinars are spaced out on 2 different days. So if you want to register for both these webinars, please do. You can attend both of them because they are on 2 different days. There are no replays for these webinars, so make sure you have enough time to attend them live. And I'm sure you're going to find them very useful. Okay. Yep. So with all that said and done, we are at the end of today's live session. Facebook Live about Facebook Live. You can follow me if you like the content that I share. This is my page, The Lady Bosses. I keep talking about social media, online business, and digital marketing. So if you like my content or if you want to follow these subjects, then you should follow this page and click on the See First button. So every time I have an update, you don't miss out on that. I also update you about the new features that any of the platforms is having lately. You can follow me on Instagram. My username is @the rate smartphone entrepreneur. On Facebook, on Instagram also, I am available for following. And you can follow me on my website as well, which is theladybosses.com. On my website, you will find my podcast. You will find all my videos. Also, if you want to know more about me, then you can always check out the About Me page on my website, theladybosses.com. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm just quickly going to jump into the questions and see if I have missed out on any of the questions. Okay. So please tell me how you found this session for today. If you have any more doubts, I am here for the next 2-3 minutes more. Thank you, Snehal. Thank you for appreciation. All right, I hope I haven't missed out on any questions so far. If anybody else has any queries, please drop them in the comments below. Or you can ping me on Instagram. My username is smartphone.entrepreneur. So I can always get back to you with these queries and answers. Okay, so with that, I would like to end this live session for all of you. I hope all of you found value in this session, and you would like to join my webinars to learn more about how to make your digital presence a bit more stronger and how to build a stronger brand digitally and on social media. Okay, I'll see you around in the next webinar or the next live session that I conduct. Okay, bye bye, see you.